What is up, guys? Donna back with another video, and today I'm going to be reviewing the final shape of Destiny 2. So let's just get into it. So we're gonna start with gameplay. I think gameplay-wise, it's very fun. I think it has some. Well, I think it's fun, and when it is fun, it's really fun. But when it gets like in kind of a bad spot, like gameplay-wise, it's kind of really bad. And so, what do I mean by that? Well, there's certain aspects of this that get really repetitive and really tedious and just bad gameplay wise. But I do think overall the gameplay is pretty fun. It's definitely taking more raid aspects, but it just gets so repetitive, especially towards the end. The last like two boss fights towards the end are just the worst things ever. I think it took me like an hour each, probably 2 hours, maybe not 2 hours. Yeah, 2 hours in all, 2 hours and a half in all, just to do those last two bosses. And you might be saying that's a skill issue, and yeah, maybe it is, but the point is, the bosses just aren't the best. But we do move on to the new subclasses, or new subclass, my bad, which is Prismatic, and I think Prismatic could be very good. We don't have the entire thing unlocked yet, well, at least I don't yet, but maybe I'll check it out. I do think it has a lot of, probably not, oh my god, possibilities. There you go. How did I mess that up? Possibilities for builds, and you could probably make some really good builds. I do definitely want to make a Prismatic build video just because I think Prismatic is a very cool subclass. But just in the state of where I was playing with it, it felt very, very like weak, and it didn't feel like the best subclass. So most of the campaign I just stuck with Radiant Sunbracer because that's just a superior build and just overall better, and it was easier to just play through the missions and get through the campaign than if I would have just stuck to Prismatic, just because it's not Prismatic isn't like bad or anything. I just think right now, and as you play through the campaign, it's not going to be the best. And as I'm in my thoughts right now, if we stayed with how it is, if that makes sense, I don't think anybody could use it. So Prismatic though, it's pretty cool. Transcendence is kind of stupid. The Prismatic health enemies or whatever are kind of stupid. But overall, yeah, new enemies are pretty fun, pretty cool. I mean, there's just flying enemies pretty much for the most part. But yeah, I do think overall gameplay wise, this is a pretty fun experience. It kind of does feel like mini raids in each mission, which can be fun. But sometimes it's not. So some of the missions aren't, the most fun ever. That's okay. Not everything has to be fun. But let's move on to the story. Now, I know the things you probably heard about this story, but honestly, it's not the worst thing ever. It's definitely better than Lightfall, which of course doesn't have too high of a standard, but it's definitely better than Lightfall, and I think it's a pretty decent story here. It does get kind of deep, and I do like when it does get deep of how those aspects of it and what it kind of does. If oh my god, I don't want to spoil it. But if you played it, you know what I'm trying to talk about. It's a decent story is all I'm trying to say. It's not, the best thing in the world. It's not groundbreaking or anything. It's not the best DLC we've ever gotten story-wise for Destiny, but I do think it's a very solid. There is some aspects of it that are very good, but character-wise, I mean, it's not the best. I think the only character that it's really worth mentioning here is Cayde 6. I do think it's pretty cool. They did bring him back, and I do like the dynamic, between him and Crow and how that all kind of works out in like this campaign. It's not, Crow and Zavala and Ikora by themselves are kind of just boring characters, but Zavala's like kind of backstory and his like not his backstory, but his kind of intentions and like what's happening to him because of this campaign and because of the witness, it's very interesting. Ikora sucks in this campaign. There's really no good things about her besides that. Maybe if you like a screaming character a lot, then yeah, and getting that at Cayde for no reason was very annoying. But overall, characters fine. They're okay, and just dynamics are pretty okay and all that stuff. So yeah, story-wise, I just think it's pretty decent story. It's not the best thing in the world, but it's definitely not the worst. Would I say it's mediocre? and I think it's a bit better than mediocre, but I don't think it's great. It's, I was expecting a lot more from this story, but that's okay. Not everything has to be great. Of course, we were really expecting this to be great, but it is what it is. It's fine. It's all right. I think it's not the best. I keep just saying the same stuff over and over, don't I? Anyway, let's move on to probably the best part of the final shape, and that's just how the game looks in general. Playing this into the Traveler and just you're playing through that strike looks amazing. I think anybody can play that strike even if you don't have the final shape, so definitely check that strike out even if you don't have the final shape. It is a very good looking strike. It's pretty fun, and I just enjoy that strike a lot. I think it's a better strike that we've gotten in recent times. Anyway, back to the graphics. It just looks amazing. Amazing cutscenes, amazing just world in general. Everything just looks breathtakingly awesome, and it's so good. The new enemies and stuff look awesome, and just the atmosphere of it just looks awesome. The visuals are definitely the best part in the final shape. I don't think that the gameplay isn't the best and the story isn't the best, but the graphics or visuals or whatever you want to say, I think is probably the best we've seen from any campaign in Destiny 2. But Destiny 2 is very just a gorgeous game in general, and I think that's good. That's cool. But yeah, overall, pretty cool campaign. I'm now excited after I'm done with this video to check out more of it, play through the seasonal stuff and all that stuff. And yeah, so yeah, I do plan to make more Destiny 2 content in the future. So if you did like this video, please like it. If you want to see more about me, please subscribe. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.